It's an unfamiliar scene in the Niger Delta, the presence of Nigerian military patrol boats and heavily armed troops. They are here to protect a country's assets. Millions of barrels of crude hidden deep beneath these waters, making Nigeria the world's sixth largest oil producer. Ethnic clashes between two major groups, the Ijors and the Itsakiris, have erupted here over who owns which oil leases. Hundreds have been killed, thousands more displaced. On this day, the military agrees to take us along for the ride. We sweep past what's left of dilapidated communities along the river. Angry villagers shout from the bank, complaining both about multinational oil companies and what they say is the government's lack of concern for their welfare. Further along, we find fishermen like Sunday Kanyofar. This week, he's only managed to catch a single fish in an area where fishing was once the main source of income for his community. He says there's a simple explanation.
Because the oil has spoiled this place.
Close by, children play near where flares burn off gases at pump stations. Kanyofar takes us on an impromptu tour of his tiny fishing village. In a country which is the continent's largest oil producer, there's no running water, no schools, no hospitals. Open sewers add to the already desperate living conditions.
None of my children is going to school. No scholarship, no nothing.
Nigeria produces more than 2 million barrels of crude every day. All of it is pumped onto tankers anchored offshore to be refined elsewhere. Nigeria must import gasoline at world prices.
Now, worry is the proverbial end of the line before entering the murky waters of the Niger River. Now, if this were Kuwait or Saudi Arabia, the skyline behind me would be dotted with skyscrapers and there will be 4-lane highways crisscrossing this entire state. But according to experts, due to successive years of military rule, Warri seems firmly planted somewhere in the 19th century, almost like an American frontier town in the old Wild West.
The government insists it's helping to bridge the gap between the haves and the have-nots by attempting to regulate oil prices for consumers. The oil industry says such efforts have backfired.
The regulation is about vibrancy in the industry. The regulation is about competition. The regulation is about opening up the industry. The regulation is about job creation.
That's little comfort for Sunday Kanyofar. He doesn't see his fishing lifestyle improving anytime soon, despite record oil prices on the world market.
We are suffering here. You see? We are suffering here.
Suffering and bitterness, ingredients for instability in an already deeply divided nation. Jeff Koinange, CNN, along the Niger River Delta.